Governor Ben Ayade congratulates Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu on his emergence as presidential candidate of APC, describes him as soldier of democracy. Governorship candidate of People's Democratic Party, Cross River State, Sandy Ono, celebrated at grand reception in Calabar. Plus, Inspector General of Police orders tactical and intelligence commanders to tackle crimes. Details of these and more shortly. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Udwak Etam, and now the details of the bulletin. Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade has congratulated Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his emergence as the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC for the 2023 presidential election. This report is here presented from our studio.
A statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Christian Nta, says that Tinubu expressed an unwavering optimism that will lead the party to victory. The statement further adds that as a soldier of democracy, whose sacrifice and labor for it has ensured his enthronement of the nation's democracy, will give him undeniable and seamless victory next year. The governor assured the APC presidential candidate of his total support at the polls. Similarly, the state chapter of the ruling All Progressives Congress has also congratulated the party's presidential standard-bearer on his undeniable victory, while assuring him of its unalloyed commitment and support to emerge as Nigeria's next president come 2023. A statement by the party's state publicity secretary, Erasmus Ekpan, expressed confidence that the party will uphold democracy, strengthen it, as well as take it to new heights that will benefit Nigerians and those in diaspora.
Senator Godswill Akpabio has emerged the All Progressives Congress standard-bearer for Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. The immediate past Minister of Niger Delta Affairs polled 478 votes to emerge victorious over other contenders, former DIG Udom Ekbudom and Joseph Akpan, who scored 3 and 1 votes respectively. Clement Barikwe has the reports.
Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District comprises of 108 wards drawn from 10 local government areas. Aside from the 2 aspirants in the contest, one Ekperikpe Ekpo had earlier stepped down from the race to support Godswill Akpabio. Of the 540 delegates, 512 were accredited, and at the end of voting, Senator Akpabio emerged winner.
Dr. Godswill Akpabio, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes cast, I hereby declare Senator Godswill Akpabio.
Accepting the victory, Senator Akpabio thanked delegates and the people of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District for the confidence reposed in him and promised to render quality service to his people if elected in the 2023 general elections.
I recall that there was no senator ever that did the kind of empowerment program I did for you. And I know that a lot of projects were touched.
The Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District is made up of Ika, Ikodekpene, Esenedim, Etimekpo, Ikono, Abak, Ini, Oroganam, Oburakara, and Ukanafon local government areas. From Ikodekpene, Clement Barikwe, NTA News.
A Catholic priest, Reverend Father Heisen Alia, has won the APC governorship primary rerun election conducted in the 12 local government areas and 3 council wards in Benue State. The Reverend Father polled 196,314 votes to defeat 11 others in the exercise. Moses Ajawu Ode reports.
The rerun election was conducted in 12 local government areas of Ogbadibo, Ushongo, Konshisha, Oju, Kwande, Agatu, Ohimini, Ado, Obi, Okpoku, Apa, and 3 council wards of Buruku local government area of the state. Out of 366,546 registered voters in the exercise, 270,353 votes were validly cast in the rerun exercise, which produced Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia as the winner.
Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia scored the highest vote of 195315. And he is hereby declared the winner of this.
Secretary of the committee, Imam Maji, who affirmed the result, described the rerun election as free, fair, and credible. Deputy chairman of the party, Stephen Tsav, appealed to members of the party to close ranks and support the winner towards achieving victory in the 2023 general election. It will be recalled that the rerun exercise was born out of the order of the National Working Committee following complaints of irregularities reported by some of the governorship aspirants in the May 27th governorship primaries across the state. In Makudi, Moses Ajao Ude, NTA News.
Still on politics, the PDP standard-bearer for the 2023 governorship election in Cross River State, Senator Sandy Ono, says he will not sit back and watch Cross River State slide into what he describes as the valley of the shadow of death. Speaking at a grand reception organized in his honor at the Caterpillar office in Calabar, the governorship candidate regretted that the glorious status of the state has been dispersed, structures dismantled, while the people languish in abject poverty. Achibong Basi reports.
His mission is to emancipate Cross River State from the grip of those who have robbed her of her glory, as he urged all to put aside ethnic politics and join hands towards rebuilding the lost glory of Cross River State.
In this South, we shall go toe to toe with anybody. We understand the demographics. We understand the dynamics. Here in the South, nothing for anybody. The PDP shall triumph with great men and women like this.
Speaker after speaker reiterates their resolve to work for the governorship candidate to reclaim the state from the ruling All Progressives Congress APC come 2023.
I want to appeal that all of you with your families go and ensure that you have your PVC. Cross River State is one. Yes. Those who try to divide Cross River State don't ever mean us well.
Supporters of the Caterpillar movement say Senator Sandy Ono is the only one with the capacity to rebuild, reform, and change the history of Cross River State so that the people can benefit from the true dividends of democracy.
This group believes that Cross River was reclaimed. You will agree with all of us here present that our state has drifted that far. There is total collapse of our infrastructure.
The PDP women were not left out of the epoch-making event.
We want to drive outside government with our businesses. We will go all the way with you because we know in your government the women have a place.
In Calabar, Achibong Basi, NTA News.
With the expiration of the June 9, 2022 deadline by INEC to political parties for the conduct of primaries election, the Action Alliance AA and the African Action Congress AAC were the parties that beat the deadline few hours to the expiration date. Former Chief Security Officer to late General Sani Abacha, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, emerged as the presidential candidate of the Action Alliance for the 2023 general elections. Timothy Yusuf reports that the African Action Congress AAC similarly elected Yakubu Muhammad from Edo State as the party's presidential candidate at its national convention in Abuja. You are still watching NTA Calabar News at 7. You can equally watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at YouTube/NTA Calabar. A break now, the news continues shortly. Stay with us. back and thanks for being there. And now to the rest of our bulletin. The federal government has declared Monday, 13 June 2022 as public holiday to mark this year's Democracy Day celebration. The Minister of Interior, Ralph Aregbesola, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated Nigerians on this occasion and urged all citizens to support the present administration in its efforts at ensuring a secured, united and prosperous nation. Aregbesola admonished the Nigerians to use the occasion to reflect on the long journey that Nigeria has made towards the enthronement of a civil democratic order before national independence in 1960 till date and the sacrifices of patriots. He reminded Nigerians of the challenges faced and overcome, including a civil war, noting that any form of agitation that threatens the unity of the country should be shunned for the good of all, saying the space known as Nigeria would be a heaven of peace, unity and progress if all citizens love their neighbors and embrace the spirit of brotherliness. The minister advised the Nigerians to judiciously put into use the recently unveiled Nigeria Internal Security and Public Safety Alert System and Alert mobile app, designed to mitigate security challenges and other disasters. To become credible agents of positive change for needed socio-economic development of the country, the watchdog of the society, journalists, need to adopt solution-focused approaches in reportage to advocate for solutions to problems affecting the society. This was the focus of a one-day training session for media practitioners in Calabar. Arutundem has details of that report.
On daily basis, there are numerous problems and challenges a given society has to contend with. And most often, it is the media that disseminates those happenings to the public in a way that the problems are increasing instead of being solved. This training session is to put the media practitioners on their toe to adopt contemporary approaches of using the solution to such problems in reportage to contribute to faster ways of solving the problems. Resource persons dwell on why solution journalism, thought of response, and investigative approach.
Solution journalism basically focuses on the how, the efforts, not necessarily the individuals or the people or the technology behind it. So it's looking at the how, the process. That's what solution journalism is about. So it's plain old reporting that basically focuses on solutions to or responses to problems that exist and how they compare with others.
Solution journalism basically is a rigorous approach to journalism where you're not just focusing on the problems but the responses, and there are 4 pillars that make you know that it is solution journalism. You have the response, you have the evidence of impact, you have the insight, as well as the limitations.
But how did the participants receive this training?
I've learned here that you not only write news, but also give solutions to those problems.
It has broadened my knowledge, and I think with this, my reportage will be very, very vast and different.
Participants were drawn from different media houses, with most personnel from the print. In Calabar, Arutundem, Nta News.
Oil palm thrives in Bayelsa State as the land favors its production. This has necessitated the call in the government to establish 3 additional oil palm plantations across the state. The call was a 1-point resolution adopted by the State House of Assembly. Baba Tuere Awe reports.
The palm oil industry has lifted millions of people out of poverty in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Nigeria, which together accounts for around 85% of global production. Oil palm plantations have created millions of well-paying jobs and enabled smallholder farmers to own their own land. Against this backdrop, member representing Ogbia Constituency 1, Mitema Obodo, while presenting the motion, urged Bayelsa State government to establish 3 additional oil palm plantations to complement the existing ones to take the state out of crude oil-dependent economy.
That across Nigeria, states are beginning to create revenue-generating avenues to develop their states rather than rely solely from the federal allocation.
Oil palm plantation and production is one of those avenues which our state should key in and invest immensely.
Other lawmakers in their contributions remarked that the state's plantations are aging and that there is wisdom in establishing new ones for the economic growth of the state.
From history, we read that we found out that Malaysia itself came to borrow our palm kernel for testing. And today, they rule the world in palm kernel farming and development. So we can still do the same, Mr. Speaker.
Establishing new farms, I think, will help us as a state. And those farms, just as the mover of the motion has said, will create jobs.
From the State House of Assembly, Baratwai Awi, NTA News.
Expansion work has been flagged off at the 760 megawatts Kanji hydroelectric dam in Niger State. The federal government is targeting additional 220 megawatts to bring the generation capacity of the dam to about 1,000 megawatts of electricity. Joshua Ojito reports.
Kayenji Hydro Dam, one of Nigeria's biggest and oldest dam infrastructure, generating 760 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. The growing energy demand in the country prompts its upgrade and expansion to wrap up generation and boost supply. The expansion work is to enable the dam generate additional 220 megawatts of electricity, bringing the total generation capacity of the dam to 980 megawatts.
With these and other interventions coming in to the power sector, it's just a matter of time. We have to have patience. We are doing a lot. Government is doing a lot in terms of policy, and the government is also investing through the provision of an expansion of the transmission infrastructure, which will, and is unprecedented.
With the 220 megawatt that will be added to the grid, it will definitely have significant impact on the economy of the nation.
We are happy. We congratulate the Minister of Power, for piloting this, with the guidance of the ministry and all the other stakeholders, so that we can deliver power to Nigeria.
With the current electricity generation hovering around 5,000 megawatts, which the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, describes as inadequate for a country of more than 200 million people. Expanding the dam and the transmission network is expected to improve power supply in the country. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khalibaba, has ordered tactical and intelligence commanders of the force to deploy their assets towards tackling perpetrators of economic crimes, sabotaging and weakening the revenue-generating base of the country. Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in a statement, says the IGP equally ordered the newly appointed Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Special Task Force on Petroleum and Illegal Bunkering to be focused and committed in the discharge of his duties. The IGP further warns economic saboteurs to cease from their unwholesome activities, else they would be made to face the full weight of the law. The United Kingdom has said it will provide £1 million worth of support to enhance the operations of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in 2022, an additional provision over a period of 3 years. This was disclosed by the Director, Home Office International Operations, Nick Fowler, who was at the agency on a custom visit. The promise was made after NDLEA boss Brigadier General Buba Marwa requested for intelligence sharing collaboration, provision of essential operational logistics, and training of staff, among others, from the UK government. Before we go, a recap of our major stories. Governor Ben Ayade has congratulated Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu on his emergence as presidential candidate of APC and described him as soldier of democracy. Governorship candidate of People's Democratic Party, PDP, Cross River State, Sandy Ono, celebrated at grand reception in Calabar. It was also in the news that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khalibaba, has ordered tactical and intelligence commanders to to deploy their assets towards tackling crimes. That is it on our news tonight. Thanks for watching and do have a lovely weekend. Good night.